Kurata is a genius programmer and robot enthusiast who had a room full of small robot models. One night, on his way back from work, he is hit by a car and dies. In another world, a carriage carrying an old man named Lori, his daughter Celestina, and her son Ernesti is attacked by demon beasts. While Lori and Celestina defeated the smaller ones, a larger beast threatened to devour Ernesti. Matthias, Ernesti's father, rescues them with his silhouette knight. It's revealed that Ernesti is the reincarnation of Kurata. Seeing the knight awakened Kurata's passion for robots, and he vowed to become a silhouette knight pilot. Ernesti worked tirelessly to achieve his dream, using his programming knowledge to master magic quickly. One day, he encounters Arkid and Adeltrude, who are trying to escape from their home. Adeltrude falls from the roof, but Ernesti uses his magic to save her. The siblings are amazed by his abilities and ask him to teach them magic, which he happily agrees to. The trio then enters the Academy for Night Runners together, where they made a dwarf friend named Batson, who wanted to become a mechanic for silhouette knights and knightsmith. Ernesti meets Batson and becomes friends. They visit Batson in the workshop and come up with an improved design for the magic rod, which impressed the dwarfs working there, and they made a prototype for him. Ernesti's mastery of magic allowed him to skip the elementary level classes and attend middle school level lectures, which sparked rumors throughout the academy. 3 years later, Ernesti expressed his desire to learn more about the reactors that power the silhouette knights, but the technology was a national secret, even to the knightsmith, crushing his dream of building his unique silhouette knight. During field exercises against demon beasts, Ernesti met Stefania, the older stepsister of his friends Arkid and Adeltrude, who quickly developed feelings for him, upsetting Adeltrude, who had also developed feelings for Ernesti. Meanwhile, Ernesti meets Edgar, a senior who pilots a customized silhouette knight and shows him the inside of the knight, but Ernesti quickly realizes that he's too small to pilot it as they are designed for adults. Later at night, when an alarm is sounded, the seniors jump into their silhouette knights while the young students start evacuating the area. Apparently, a group of demon beasts is heading their way. Ernesti sees that his friends Arkid and Adeltrude are worried about their sister, who's staying behind to fend off the demon beasts. So instead of evacuating with the other juniors, the three of them head out to help Stefania, and the other seniors fend off the attack. Ernesti realizes that something is wrong as there are too many demon beasts rampaging through the area. Nearby, a checkpoint is suddenly attacked by a division-class demon beast named Behemoth. While sending word ahead to their superior, the soldiers stationed there get into their silhouette knights and give up their lives trying to stall the Behemoth. Unfortunately, their attacks have no effect on the massive monster. Thanks to the intervention of Ernesti, Arkid, and Adeltrude, the damage done by the rampaging demon beasts in the forest is kept to a minimum. While they are celebrating their success, Ernesti is worried that the beasts might have been riled up like this because they were fleeing from something bigger and stronger. Upon learning that the Behemoth is heading towards the forest where students are conducting exercises, the knights quickly rush to ensure their safety. The seniors piloted their silhouette knights to buy time, while others evacuated the area. However, one senior is unfortunately killed by the Behemoth, causing panic among the remaining knights. Dietrich, one of the seniors, flees from the scene in his silhouette knight, leaving his comrades behind. Ernesti, witnessing Dietrich's cowardice, pursued him and discovered that he was in a state of shock. Ernesti takes control of Dietrich's silhouette knight by modifying its settings with his magical staves. With his piloting abilities, Ernesti engages in combat with the Behemoth and manages to injure it, but is unable to inflict significant damage. Eventually, the silhouette knight forces arrive with heavy weapons designed to defeat the Behemoth. As the battle continued, Ernesti noticed that the silhouette knight he was piloting was breaking apart. In a quick decision, he exited the robot and allowed Dietrich to pilot it. Ernesti then used his magical abilities to cast a massive air-based spell, combined with lightning from a sword stuck in the Behemoth's eye, which ultimately killed the beast. The king is impressed with Ernesti's bravery and requests to meet him in person after hearing of his heroic actions. Ernesti and his grandfather are summoned to the palace where they meet King Ambrosius. The king wishes to reward Ernesti for slaying Behemoth and asks him what he would like. Ernesti requests the knowledge on how to create reactors, which surprises the king's advisors. Ernesti explains that he wants to build his own silhouette knight from scratch, and for that, he needs to create his own power supply. Despite the advisor's protests, the king promises to give Ernesti the knowledge he seeks, but only if he can show evidence of putting it to good use by creating a silhouette knight that impresses him. Ernesti heads to the knightsmith workshop at the academy where he meets David, in charge of development and maintenance of silhouette knights. David is initially reluctant to change the design of the robots they have, but Ernesti manages to convince him to add 2 additional arms to the back of the silhouette knights. These arms hold the magic rods, allowing the knights to use magic and other weapons simultaneously. Ernesti also develops a lightweight design called the Silhouette Gear for night runners in training, which doesn't require a reactive function. Dietrich manages to get over the fact that he abandoned his comrades when he ran, and he dedicates himself to training, which helps motivate others. Some time passes, the first prototype of the new design is ready for testing. The pilot is none other than Helvi, as it is her Silhouette Knight that got modified during repairs. While she's having trouble properly controlling the robot due to the large increase in power of the additional arms that fire magic from his back, turn out to be a huge success. To put the new design to a proper test is set up by a match between Helvi and Edgar. It becomes apparent just how much the new design is superior in power, as Edgar is forced to go all out against his opponent. Even that is not enough. Helvi overpowers Edgar before she can finish the match. She runs out of mana, revealing a major drawback of the new design, while everyone celebrates the massive success of the new unit. Ernesti and David continue to work on improving the design. Unfortunately, a spy from the workshop leaks information about the new model to a third party, causing concern for the safety and security of the new technology. As they brainstormed how to improve the designs of their Silhouette Knights, Ernesti made a few modifications to the Silhouette gears that enabled them to engage in actual combat. However, this drew the attention of Dixgard, one of the king's advisors, who was against the idea of sharing knowledge about the reactor with Ernesti. Dixgard sent his knights to retrieve the new models and their pilots and bring them to his fortress. On their way to the fortress, they are attacked by shaker worms, dangerous demon beasts that were lured there by an unknown individual. However, thanks to the advanced firepower of the new Silhouette Knights, they were able to defeat the beasts with ease. The group responsible for luring the shaker worms saw the potential of the new robots and sought to steal them. After delivering the Silhouette Knights to Dixgard, Ernesti stayed behind while the others returned to the academy. Dixgard is hesitant to trust Ernesti, as he is the first person to design a new robot model on his own. However, Ernesti is passionate about creating more designs and explained that the one he had presented was not good enough for the king. Dixgard eventually agreed to help Ernesti with his pursuit of new designs. Days later, Adeltrud became desperate to see Ernesti again, and David suggested that they use the excuse of delivering an overhauled model of Dietrich's Silhouette Knight to Dixgard to go visit him. However, a village within Dixgard's domain is attacked by demon beasts, and the standard Silhouette Knights stationed at the fortress are deployed to respond. This gave the group interest in stealing the new models an opportunity to observe their movements. Finally, Dietrich and his knights have finished repairing and remodeling their equipment. David, Adeltrud, Arkid, Batson, Edgar, and Dietrich embark on a journey towards Dixgard's territory, using the Silhouette gears to aid their travels. In another location, Silhouette Knights dispatched to combat demon beasts succeed in their mission, but the messenger they send back to their fortress is ambushed and killed by a group attempting to steal the new model of Silhouette Knights. The group, led by Kerhilt, infiltrates the fortress by piloting the messenger's Silhouette Knight while pretending to be the messenger. They quickly locate the new Silhouette Knights and take control of them before Dixgard's men realize what has happened. Despite the presence of Knight Commander Molten and his unique Silhouette Knight, they are unable to defeat the infiltrators, who then decide to escape, leaving a few of their men behind to keep Molten occupied. While trying to flee, Kerhilt's group encounters students from the academy, leading to a battle where Dietrich and Edgar are left to fight in their Silhouette Knights against the invaders, while the others rush to the fortress. Although Dietrich and Edgar put up a good fight, they are outnumbered and Dietrich is slowed down by one of the invaders, while Edgar pursues Kerhilt. Adeltrud and Arkit join Edgar in the fight by jumping into their Silhouette gears, and once David and Batson arrive at the fortress, Ernesti enters his Silhouette gear and joins Molten to take down the new models. Meanwhile, Edgar, fighting in his old model against Kerhilt, gets defeated. Dietrich is victorious but is interrupted while pursuing Kerhilt by a horde of demon beasts. He stays behind to defend Edgar from the beasts, and soon Adeltrud, Arkid, Ernesti, and Molten join the fight. They manage to fend off the demon beasts, but by the time they finish, Kerhilt has already escaped. Investigation reveals that the demon beasts were used by those who stole the new models, and they were most likely from another kingdom. To reward Ernesti and his friends for their efforts during the infiltration crisis and enhance the safety and security of his future projects, the king creates a new order, the Order of the Silver Phoenix, with Ernesti as its commander. The new model of the Silhouette Knight is also successfully retrieved. Models of the Silhouette Knight developed by Ernesti are sent to the kingdom's greatest research lab. It is analyzed by Alvar and Geisga, the most renowned researchers around. Geisga is determined to make improvements to the model so it can be mass-produced, which will serve to show Ernesti just how inferior he is to him. Returning to the academy, Ernesti is quick to start developing new things. Using his position, he is able to get more resources from the government, so he builds upgrades for the Silhouette gears, allowing them to be used by anyone. With minor adjustments, they become the perfect tools for working with silhouette knights, as it is easy to move heavy and large materials with them. A message arrives from the king announcing that there will be a match between silhouette knights developed by Ernesti and those from the research lab in 10 months, giving them time to create and test new units. This fires up Ernesti, who goes all out by coming up with new ideas for the robot designs. Among the designs is a special unit built for two, which he designs with the siblings Adeltrude and Arkid in mind. He also comes up with an idea to increase the security of the robots, developing magical keys that are needed to start them up in order to prevent them from getting stolen. Finally, the time of the match has come. It is Gaiska's laboratory that marches into the larger arena first, displaying the improved version of the design that was delivered to Dixgard. The king is happy with the show of force they are able to display just by lining up, but once the Order of the Silver Phoenix enters the arena, everyone is left speechless. Their new designs are something to behold, with the most eye-catching one being piloted by Adeltrude and Arkid, which resembles a centaur pulling a metal chariot that serves as housing for their other three silhouette knight prototypes, which are Daytrip and Edgar's new models and Ernesti's very own first model. While the audience is excited and praises Ernesti for his genius, Gaiska seems to be infuriated that all of the glory is going towards the boy. Before long, the mock battle begins and even Prince Emrys has come to spectate the match. Ernesti surprises everyone when he fires up his silhouette knight, which is able to fly at astounding speed. With that, he clears a path for Arkid and Adeltrude to punch through and disrupt their opponent's formation with the help of their centaur-like silhouette knight. Since the laboratory's robots are piloted by elite knight runners, they are able to fight back against the still inexperienced students. But even so, Ernesti's unit is coming out on top thanks to the unique designs and immense power of their silhouette knights. With some of Gaiska's units broken down and Ernesti running out of mana, the king stops the match satisfied with the results he witnessed. Gaiska meets with Ernesti, appearing to be infuriated with him at first, but as they begin talking, it becomes evident that they are both just obsessed with robots. Their talk reignites Gaiska's passion, and he becomes as determined as ever to show Ernesti that he can come up with brilliant ideas as well. Ambrosius announces to Emrys that he will be stepping down as king and having his son, Leo Thomas, Emrys' father, take over the role. The reason for this is that he wants to spend his final days doing what he loves, which is piloting his silhouette knight. Thus, Ambrosius and Emrys meet with Ernesti, requesting from him to build unique silhouette knights for both of them. Ernesti is more than happy to oblige, and soon thereafter, two new units are finished, one golden lion and one silver lion. In order to decide who gets to pilot which, the former king and the prince have a match. It is evident that Ambrosius is a skilled warrior, but Emrys is able to hold on, both engage in a fierce but friendly battle. At first, Emrys having a difficult time to find an opening for an attack, but thanks to his youth and critical thinking, he comes with a strategy, which helps him to prevail and defeat his grandfather. Thus, Emrys gets to pilot the Golden Lion unit, while the former king gets the silver one. A swarm of shell-cased beasts is spotted marching towards the town of Alfheim, where all the kingdom's ether reactors are made. Upon hearing this news, Ernesti becomes furious and immediately mobilizes his order. They rush to defend the town just in time to ward off the attack. Gaiska's squad seems to face difficulty fighting horde monsters, but the Order of the Silver Phoenix employs their new robots to engage the monsters and save the defenders, while Emrys displays his powerful Golden Lion with wide-range attack, forgetting that launching potent attacks consumes vast amounts of mana. To put an end to the invasion of the demon beasts, Ernesti decides to find and take on the queen of the shell-cased beasts, accompanied by Adeltrude and Arkid in their centaur-shaped knight. The trio battles against the massive monster as big as Behemoth, utilizing the firepower of their new silhouette knights to unleash an electrical attack. Fortunately, they bring the monster queen down, and Ernesti finishes her off similarly to how he defeated the Behemoth in the past. Ambrosius acknowledges Ernesti's numerous accomplishments and grants him the right to learn about the other reactors. Ernesti is granted access to Alfheim, where he is taken by the former king and Alvar, who reveals that he is part of a different long-lived race with long ears called the Alves. Apparently, they live in harmony with an Alfheim, where they use their unique abilities to create the ether reactors, but Alvar does not possess the knowledge that Ernesti seeks. Therefore, they must first visit the great elder of the Alves, Quittery. While conversing with Ernesti, she quickly realizes that he is different from other humans, as he possesses knowledge that is completely alien to the humans of this world. She grants Ernesti permission to learn anything he wants to learn, and he takes advantage of this opportunity to the best of his abilities. Thanks to his exceptional understanding of magic, he masters the arts that Alves use to manipulate magic and shape materials according to their will. Although initially skeptical that he would be able to learn anything, the Alves are amazed at Ernesti's astonishing speed in mastering everything they throw at him. Ernesti discovers that the best cores for other reactors are made from powerful demon beasts, and the former king grants him permission to use the remains of the behemoth and the recently slain demon beast queen as he sees fit. As a result, Ernesti sets out to build the robot of his dreams, incorporating his newfound knowledge of the All's magical arts and the use of powerful demon beast cores. Ernesti decides to remain behind while the former king comes back only to be trapped by Silver Phoenix, asking him about Ernesti. In just 3 months, Ernesti was able to gain knowledge of Alls and visits Quittery to say his farewell. The Kingdom of Zalaudic has assembled a formidable army, bolstered by their latest Black Knight models of robots. They initiated their invasion of neighboring kingdoms with lightning speed, quickly conquering city after city until they reached the kingdom of Kushpercha. Despite fierce resistance, the Kushpercha forces struggled to hold their ground against the advanced Zalaudic army. Zalaudic then introduces their trump card, levitating ships that drop their Black Knights behind enemy lines, causing chaos and ultimately crushing the Kushpercha defenders. The Kushpercha king realized that the battle was lost and decided to make a final stand to give his daughter, Eleonora Miranda, a chance to escape. He calls for a one-on-one duel and fights against Prince Cristobal from Zalaudic, but is defeated and gets killed with ease due to Prince Cristobal's powerful robot design copied from Helvi's Silhouette Knight. While running away, Eleonora resists because she doesn't want to leave without her father, but her stepsister forces her to escape. While they are trying to escape, as her escort is captured by enemy forces at a nearby checkpoint. The next day, the Order of the Silver Phoenix, led by Prince Emrys, arrived at a checkpoint that was previously under Kushpercha control, but had been taken over by Zalaudic's forces. They attacked, and Ernesti used this opportunity to test his brand new Silhouette Knight model named Ikaruga, which proved to be exceptional, taking out enemy Black Knights with ease. Upon examining the design of the Black Knights, they quickly realized that it was based on the model that had been stolen from them some time ago. They began to wreak havoc along the border, taking out Zalaudic patrols. Upon learning of Eleonora's forced marriage to Prince Cristobal, Ernesti and his companions begin devising a plan to rescue her. However, their presence was quickly discovered by Cristobal, who was on high alert due to the recent battles with the Kushpercha and the Order of the Silver Phoenix. Zalaudic's forces were unnerved by the legend of the Grim Reaper with the demon mask, based on Ernesti's Silhouette Knight, which is spreading fear among their ranks. They sent airships to locate the demon and bring it down. However, upon finding their target, it turned out to be Datrix's unit. Gustavo, the commander of the airship, confidently dropped his units down into battle. Datrix is surprised to see his knight covered with so many swords, but thanks to Ernesti's upgrades in his knight. After a fierce battle, Gustavo loses his confidence as he is unable to defeat Datrix in combat. In the end, Gustavo's forces were forced into a hasty retreat as they began to lose the battle. Emrys seeks the assistance of Ernesti to save the princess and her aides, who are related to the prince, as a tribute to the close relationship between the Kushpercha and the royal family. They plan to infiltrate the captured city in disguise, using silhouette gears to sneak into the palace. However, the princess is initially reluctant to leave, feeling hopeless and alone. Arkid convinces her to accompany him by offering to become her personal knight and support her unconditionally. Emrys and Ernesti successfully rescue Martina and Isodola without any trouble, allowing them to leave the city undetected. After realizing what happened, Zalaudic's General Doroteo gives pursuit with a flying ship. With the help of Kojal Horacio, the genius engineer behind the airship design, they are able to figure out where the princess is fleeing towards and catch up with Ernesti's unit. When Ernesti sees the flying ship, he gets so excited by its design that he immediately flies up with his Silhouette Knight to get a closer look. This shocks Kojal and the Doroteo troops on board, as they have never seen a flying robot before. Unable to fight back against Ernesti's Silhouette Knight, Doroteo gives the order to retreat immediately. Upon returning, Doroteo is reprimanded for his failure, while Kojal begins working on countermeasures against the flying robot he saw in Ernesti's unit. They arrive at a Kushpercha relay station that is still free, and with the help of Ernesti's genius ideas, they upgrade the robots using scraps salvaged from the Black Knight units they defeated. As a result of these upgrades, they are able to turn the tide of the war and start winning ground battles against Zalaudic's forces. Eleanor is troubled by the weight of the responsibility she will have to take on as she returns as queen to liberate her land, but Arkid is there for her, encouraging her and giving her confidence that she can do it. Not only that, but he also prevents an assassination attempt against her orchestrated by Carhilt and her group. This time, Carhilt's plans go south as the men she sent to steal new Silhouette Knights are unable to activate them thanks to Ernesti's magical start keys. Edgar ends up facing Carhilt in battle, using his state-of-the-art robot to secure victory. Upon learning the location of the princess, Cristobal mobilizes his troops and sends them towards the relay station. The massive army quickly destroys all opposition along the way, luring them into a false sense of security. It is then revealed that Ernesti and his team spring a trap on them, using brand new weapons to fight against flying ships. They start shooting down the ships from the air, and Cristobal's ground troops have similar success as they are destroyed by the trap they walked into. He is stunned to see the weapon able to reach the aircraft altitude. Ernesti wreaks havoc and spreads fear among Cristobal's men, forcing him to sound the retreat, but Kojal notices something and asks the airship pilot to stay behind Cristobal's ship. However, Ernesti has no intention of allowing Cristobal to flee, so he catches up with the fleeing ship and threatens to shut it down. Cristobal pilots his own robot, and they have a duel on top of the flying ship. As expected, Cristobal is no match for Ernesti's powerful silhouette knight. Trying to negotiate his way out, Cristobal quickly realizes he has nothing to offer Ernesti, and refusing to let him have his robot, he ends up destroying the flying ship he is standing on, together with himself. Witnessing this, the remains of Cristobal's troops rout and flee from the battle, returning with news of his death. Kojal proposes to his sister that he will develop a weapon capable of destroying the Grim Reaper that took their prince's life. Encouraged by their victory over the kingdom of Zalaudic, Eleanor takes up the mantle of the queen, promising to lead her troops into battle and liberate all occupied lands. Meanwhile, Ernesti salvages the remains of the flying ships, figuring out how they work. Eleanor's liberation campaign proceeds smoothly, and they are able to take back town after town, until one day they face a brand new flying machine, a giant weapon modeled after a dragon, an ancient demon beast named the Weaver. Doroteo is given the honor of being its captain, and by showing off the power of the Weaver, he vows to avenge the fallen Prince Cristobal. The Weaver's devastating main weapons set the entire city on fire, and the worst part is that only Ernesti is able to fight against it as it flies and uses countermeasures against ground weapons fire. Elsewhere, Kojal laughs, saying that Ernesti is no match for his creation Weaver. Gustavo is getting his rematch against Dietrich and a new, improved robot. However, Dietrich is not an easy opponent, especially with Gustavo pushing his new ether reactor beyond its limits. The new robot shuts down just in time as Dietrich was about to run out of mana. In the sky, Ernesti is slowly but surely getting the upper hand, but at that moment, Doroteo deploys a new weapon by using a special smokescreen created by Kojal Horacio. Ernesti's silhouette knight, Ikaruga, gets its jets clogged up and can no longer maintain flight, forcing him down to the ground. This allows Doroteo to unleash all of the Weaver's firepower on him, but Ernesti is able to repel its attacks with an equally powerful attack, just long enough for Weaver's mana to run below safe levels with a retreat signal from Gustavo. Doroteo's forces withdraw, but the battle is not a victory for either side. Ernesti realizes just how close he was to getting defeated in this battle, so he starts coming up with ways to fight the Weaver. Meanwhile, Kojal installs a new and vastly superior ether reactor into the Weaver. Apparently, it is so powerful that it is dangerous to use, but he still wants to give it a try. While trying to come up with a strategy to fight against the Zalaudic forces, now that they have the Weaver, Eleonora suggests launching an all-out attack against their captured capital. It will be the last thing they will expect, and if they succeed, it will be a devastating blow against the invading forces. Everyone agrees with their plan, and they formulate a strategy on how to retake the city. After giving a speech to motivate the troops, Eleonora joins them in their massive war. After making quick progress towards the city, they clash against Zalaudic's Black Knights. While the ground battle is outside of the city walls, Ernesti leads a small squad of Silhouette Gears into the city to lower the drawbridges and open the gates for the Silhouette Knights. Before long, the Weaver joins the fight with more flying ships on board. Kojal is surprised to see that Ernesti has copied his flying ship design and made a flying ship of his own, which now makes his first appearance. As the war continues, countermeasures are in place for Weaver's smokescreen. Ernesti is more than ready for his rematch to lure the Weaver away from the ground troops. Ernesti lures Doroteo to come after him all the way above the clouds. There starts his assault on the Weaver, which proves to be very effective as it forces Doroteo to quickly resort to the new danger of a reactor by activating it. A barrier of pure mana is created around the Weaver, rendering all ranged weapons entirely useless against it. Meanwhile, the ground battle is proceeding well, with the Silhouette Gears successfully opening the way for the ground troops to enter the city. Ernesti puts his robot into overdrive, punching through the powerful barrier. He is determined to put an end to Kojal's creations, as he does not want this world to use weapons in the same way as his previous world. Instead, he wants the future of this world to be entirely based around robots. Thanks to his unwavering determination, he pushes his robot like never before, which proves to be enough to break through Weaver's defenses. Realizing that the Weaver is going down, Kojal quickly abandons the ship, while Doroteo swears that he will at least take the queen down with him. To do so, he directs the Weaver away from Ernesti and towards Eleonora's camp. Ernesti is doing all he can to prevent the Weaver from reaching the queen, slowing down its progress with all the might his robot can produce on board Ernesti's flying ship. Arkid realizes what is going on, so he directs David and Batson to bring the ship after the Weaver. Catching up with the Weaver, Arkid pilots his robot and charges at Weaver's control center, where Dorotio is piloting it from. He's able to land a devastating blow onto it, causing it to go up in flames together with Dorotio. Thus, the victory is secured, and the capital of Krushpercha is liberated from Zalaudek and occupation. After Eleonora's official coronation, Ernesti and his unit prepare to return home. Before they leave, Eleonora comes to visit Arkid, whom she has developed strong feelings for, and confesses her feelings to him.